Bros, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Blessed the 20th. That's the new name of the channel. It's pretty good. Just trying it out, you know. Just switch it up a little bit. The weather has been great, dare I say. At least where I live. And I figured right before winter comes with one last slap in the face, let's go ahead and hit some freshies, stuff that just smells so nice. You want to wear it every single day. Ah, fresh fragrances again. Nice. Because I don't know about you guys where you live, but here usually it's like perfect weather for a few weeks and you go, spring is here. And then all of a sudden it's freezing again for like a few days and then right back to good weather. Just that one last middle finger by winter. Yeah. All these gonna be linked in the description. Let's go with this one first off. The new Bulgari Man Wood Essence Parfum. So this one's kind of weird in that it popped up at Macy's and I bought a bottle and at the time I bought it, it said low stock. And I was like, surely not. It's a Bulgari Man Wood Essence. And sure enough, I checked like 3 days later, it wasn't even on the website, it was sold out. So apparently they either had a really small amount of bottles listed on Macy's website or Bulgari Man Wood Essence Parfum is just in super high demand. Now, one thing they did change here, the atomizer. Yeah, the atomizer. You see that? It looks very similar, but that's actually just a cap. I guess it is more affordable to do it this way, just a standard kind of presentation style and everything. And I gotta tell you guys straight up, this is probably the least fresh of all the fragrances I'm gonna talk to you about here today, but it works out really well at that early part of spring or into that little cold snap that you might find yourself in. It's not a really heavy fragrance, so when it does say parfum on here, you may think, it's gonna be like really dark, dense woods, and it's not. I mean, it's a Bulgari wood essence, right? But it does have a really nice woody scent profile to it, a nice hint of freshness off the top, and actually as it dries down, takes on more of an aromatic fougere styling to it. So you get this nice classy, classic masculine vibe that comes through that could even remind you vaguely of scents like Sauvage Elixir, though I do want to like really iterate and reiterate. It doesn't smell the same as Sauvage Elixir. It's not that big and like powerful and pungent the way that the spices, woods, and licorice and all that stuff is coming across. But what it does have in common with Sauvage Elixir is that woodiness coming across, as I said, in a classic, almost fougere sort of styling. Actually surprisingly good. And there's also not too terribly much of sweetness in here. So if you're kind of sick of the sweetness overload that's been happening here lately, it's a good one to check out. I actually even contemplated whether I wanted to buy this at retail or just wait for it to pop up at discounters whenever that was. Went ahead and did it, and actually worked out great. A blind buy success, which has been a little hard to come by this year. Next up, Guilty Love Edition. It has love in the name, so that means you gotta like it, or love it even. And I always actually have really liked this one. It's got this cool matte finish to the bottle. I like the look, I like the smell. It is orange blossom forward, so that may make you think of stuff like myself, because that is kind of like the king of orange blossom fragrances here lately. But this one, it takes a different path than myself does. So the note breakdown is pretty much as simple as myself. You know, it's not very complex. You know how that is nowadays, but it has juniper in here. So it's gonna have more of an aromatic tinge to it. And then the orange blossom, instead of being quite as fizzy, light, brisk, and fresh as it is in myself, is a little bit creamier here, a little bit smoother. And so it makes a great fragrance for either daytime or evening, really clean, fresh, easy to wear, and not quite as worn out as myself, which myself does smell fantastic. Like if you're looking for attention, compliments, all that stuff, top notch. But if you want a fragrance that's not used as often, that'd be this. Up next, one from Michael Malul, part of their Esquire collection, Cartoonist. Which I love the simplicity of the bottle here, the little ink splotches there. Kind of cool. Atomizer, as always with the Michael Ja Rules, really good. By the way, a little shameless self-promotion. My 2 new fragrances that I creatively directed are coming out beginning of April. They're called Arashi Reef and French Quarter. One of them, I'll let you guess which one, is a tropical fragrance. Which one could it be? Really fruity, attention grabbing, perfect for spring and summer. And then the other is gonna be more of a warm, spicy scent profile. But yeah, those are coming out really, really soon, so keep your peepers open for those. This one opens up with a little bit of mint leaf, aldehydes, and pineapple. Also has ginger in there as well. Technically, I think ginger zest, but you know, ginger. Super, super zingy, ozonic, and bright when you first spray it on. The pineapple is not like a rich, deep pineapple. It's more like a spritz of pineapple. Then as it dries down, clean woods. You have cedar in there, you have elemi, patchouli. As I said, very brisk, zingy, fresh, like an out of the shower type of scent profile. Ultra clean. You can wear this stuff whenever you want. So basically, if you're looking for something almost effervescent, check this stuff out. And if you do order those fragrances, or this fragrance, or my fragrances from Michael Malul's website, I have a code for that site, which is here, alongside codes to other sites. For example, JOMASHOP, Fragflex, The Perfume Box, Beauty House, Fragrance Lawn. Any of those websites, along with Lucky Scent as well, there are codes to save you a little extra cash. Let's throw it back a little bit to the Acqua Essenziale Blue from Ferragamo. The blue has no E, that's how you know it's good. It's just like bleh. And this one has been giving off inexpensive, affordable blue fragrance vibes for like a decade at this point. And it's still cheap, so you know, get it while the getting's good. And to be fair, the getting has been good for many years. Lemon, bergamot, lavender, cardamom, and also, of course, tonka, some of the notes in the fragrance. Gets compared a little bit to Dylan Blue by Versace. So it's kind of gonna be scratching that same itch. It's that type of blue scent that you can wear daytime or evening. Really, you could wear it pretty much year round. But I think a lot of times if you're really trying to like get it down to its bare basics of when this would be best, spring and fall, because it gives you that nice freshness off the top. Then as it dries down, more warmth and sweetness comes out. So it kind of does both things, you know, daytime or evening. And in neutral weather, you can take full advantage. So Acqua Essenziale Blue. Probably go. Let's go to the clone zone. This is the only one in today's list. It is from French Avenue, and it's Aether Extrait. And it's green, so you know it's supposed to be worn in the springtime. Technically, through the magic of editing, my shirt could turn into anything right now because it's a green shirt. Magic. So this right here, this is a clone of Green Lee. It all makes sense. Really, really, really well done. Actually, the presentation style here, I dig. This kind of like cut glass aesthetic because it fits really nicely onto your hand. It kind of just like fits right into the grooves. Now we do need to talk ever so quickly about the maturation of your fragrances. And I have to bring this up anytime I bring this scent up because this is one of the biggest offenders that I have ever dealt with. This was turbonium levels of straight when I got it in. It was rough. It smelled like rubbing alcohol and rubbing alcohol. Yeah, that's all it smelled like. Now this is a common occurrence with clone fragrances. I'll tell you why. Check these out. This is what happens when you make one fragrance. Just a whole lot of samples. These are lab samples. This one, for example, is from Givaudan. And it says right here, this one was made June 14th, 2024. Yeah, I've kept all of them. But essentially what they do is they make this lab sample and they ship it out next day. So June 15th, 2024 is when I got this in my hand. And this is coming straight from Givaudan, right? So what happens is when you first spray these on, like straight from the factory, from the lab, not the factory, the lab. They usually don't smell as good as they're gonna smell. They haven't had time to really settle. And so you end up with a fragrance that is really just kind of tinny. It hasn't developed all the depth that it's going to. And a lot of times with clone brands, they will bottle, ship, and sell real quick. And so you get something in and it hasn't had time to mature properly, and it'll just kind of suck. But then after you spray it, you let it sit for a little while, you go back to it, it smells way better. And this one is absolutely, out of all the clone fragrances that I've smelled, one of the ones that sticks in my mind the most as having changed the most. So if you do get this fragrance and you spray it on and you think to yourself, this is nothing like anybody has said, it smells like rubbing alcohol, or it smells just really light, it smells like there's no depth to it, there's no base to it, set it to the side, come back to it. Because now it's one of the best Green Lee clones out there, if not the best, but oh man. It was rough at first. Oh my God. Let's get this bottle going because, you know, it kind of matches up color scheme wise. I'm kind of liking this feng shui right here. This is Varvatos XX Artisan Teal. Varvatos, man. I'm not gonna say that Varvatos has fallen off fragrance wise, but they kind of have. I'm not gonna say it, but I am. Now they haven't necessarily fallen off in terms of quality because some of the Varvatos fragrances that have come out here recently are actually pretty good, especially at discounter prices, man. You can get this stuff cheap. A lot of them are really solid for that price point, but they have fallen off in the sense that a lot of people are not checking for them as much anymore. You know, they did those Nick Jonas fragrances. Do you remember those? JVXNJ. And I feel like at the time, maybe they were like, this is gonna be our ticket, baby. These are gonna explode. I don't know if they exploded or not. None of that matters, I guess. This right here from discounters, you can find like mid-30s, depending on where you look. And you do want to look around a little bit because some stores will have it just priced like. But yeah, this one right here, a little bit salty, super fresh, very clean, similar to Y by Yves Saint Laurent, like Y Eau de Toilette, kind of in that vibe. It also has a little bit of an ozonic flair to it. So, you know, it's really taking that freshness up a bit. It's not quite as sweet as Y EDT is, but again, you're gonna find that similarity if you're really familiar with that one. Only drawback really, performance is Varvatos. You know, so not amazing, but because it's cheap, you can spray it on heavy, and also because of the type of fragrance it is, you can spray it on heavy and nobody's gonna care, probably. I mean, you could technically run into like a Karen somewhere that's gonna say something, and if you do, just slap her. Slap the taste right out of her mouth. Don't do that, don't do that. Don't, for real, don't do that.
Stop filming me! Give me your phone!
No, stop.
Give me your phone!
Get out of the car!
See somebody email me, I did what you said. There was a Karen, I slapped the taste out of her mouth and now I'm going to prison. It's all your fault.
That was a joke.
Let's go with Luna Rossa Carbon up next. This is the Eau de Parfum. Oh, it's a new one, wow. So unfortunately, my first impressions of the new Le Male and the new Le Beau didn't pan out so hot. Yeah. I was ready, my body was ready to accept, to accept those new Jean Paul Gaultiers. Like I was hyped for them. It just didn't work out for me. You know, I was ready to like them. I was anticipating them. It just didn't work out. I do like the new Le Beau Narcisse more than the new Le Male in blue. But yeah, first impressions, we'll see. I'm gonna wear them more, but this one though, Luna Rossa Carbon EDP, the Eau de Parfum, pretty good. Now the note breakdown is very boring. It's not got a whole heck of a lot going on. 3 notes. Wow. Stop me if you've heard that before. It does have lavender, so that's gonna tie it in with a lot of the other Luna Rossa kind of fragrances. That Prada cleanliness comes across here. Also has licorice, but we're talking more of a smooth licorice here. Not like a really deep, heavy, woody one with all kinds of spices on there. Not like that. And just overall, I like this one top to bottom. It doesn't go too sweet. You know, it keeps it fresh, keeps it classy, like you would expect from Prada. It does not smell like Sauvage Elixir to me at all. I know that that's what I kind of anticipated a little bit, and maybe some other people as well before it came out, because if you look at the very simple note breakdown that this one has, you could, you know, draw that conclusion and be like, well, the original Luna Rossa smelled a lot like Sauvage Eau de Toilette. You know, now they're coming out with this Eau de Parfum version, maybe it's gonna smell similar to Sauvage Elixir, but it really doesn't. And to me, it doesn't smell really super close to the original Luna Rossa Carbon either. I mean, there are some common threads between the two, but you know, if you smell this, you're not gonna get confused and be like, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. So I really like this one, great for day-to-day wear. I'm slapping my pockets for. I am a man of constant sorrow. Maybe I could work on that, you know? Really nail that down. Yeah. Just really need to like get the diaphragm, just get that going. Myslf Absolu. It's a pretty good fragrance right there. This one is enormously easy to wear whenever you want. One of the most consistent compliment pulling fragrances on the market nowadays. It is basically just made solely for maximum versatility. Great opening, ginger and bergamot. It's got that orange blossom in there, of course, with the original Myslf Eau de Parfum coming through in this one a bit as well. And a very easy wearing, modern, woody dry down also. The only issue with this is it's crazy popular. Like crazy, crazy popular. Any of the Myslf fragrances, that is some of the most popular stuff in the world right now. So if you're looking for something that stands out a little more as far as being different, then maybe don't go for these. But at the same time, the number of guys that actually consistently wear fragrances is not really that high. Like if you go into a random spot with like 1,000 guys, like how many of them are actually gonna be wearing fragrances? You know, it's gonna be a smaller percentage. And then of those, how many are gonna be wearing this the same time you are? Probably realistically nobody, but if you want that kind of mental block removed, if you're the type of person who's gonna obsess over that, then be aware of it. The most wanted eau de toilette, which technically is the most wanted intense or eau de toilette intense. Who cares? Now, one cool thing about this one is it does not come with an atomizer. No, this comes with a trashamizer. Trashamizer, crapamizer? It sucks. And the note breakdown is very bland. Once again, 3 notes, or no, 4? Lavender, bergamot, and moss liquor. Moss liquor. Hardly know her. And it does draw some comparisons to Myslf, the Eau de Parfum. Also Prada Paradigm, which that one also draws comparisons to Myslf a little bit. Though, as I'm sure you noticed with the note breakdown, this one does not have orange blossom. No, it swaps that out for lavender. So you get a little different type of flair in there, but it's ticking a lot of the same boxes. Made for that versatility, rock it whenever you want, and it is surprisingly very popular as well. You would think that the most wanted parfum would just absolutely annihilate this one as far as popularity goes, but they're somewhat similar. Finally, we come to this, a purple bottle, Purple Melancholia. This one is, of course, by Valentino, and it does have lavender. Hence the purple bottle color, or at least I'm assuming that makes sense to me. There's also cardamom in here. There's coconut and amberwood. I'm not gonna say anything about the small note breakdown anymore. You guys get it. Woo! Really creamy, tropical, sweet, fresh. Performance, pretty good. Could remind you a little bit of some of the other tropical scents out there that do use coconut. I'm sure you can think of a couple, right? And this is one of those fragrances where it is going to be ever so slightly divisive, not in the sense that your average person won't like it, because women really, at least in my experience so far, dig this because of that sweet kind of facet that it has. It's really appealing, very easy to wrap your head around. But to somebody who's looking for something that has maybe a little bit more like density to it, a little bit more like a unique push to it, they may smell this and go, ah, you know, it's just sweet with sweet, and then kind of like a little fresh on top. And it's taking the idea from a couple other things that have already come out before it and going, oh, let's roll with that a little bit and put our own spin on it. And so some people may smell this one and be like, ah, derivative trash. I think that it's really pleasant. Is it a little bit youthful leaning? For sure. But like I said, if you're just looking for something fresh, good daily wear that pretty much everybody's gonna like, you could do a lot worse than that for sure. There we go. It is heating up. There are little buds on the trees. I can see the leaves trying to start growing. It's time to freshen it up. I want to thank you guys for hanging with me here until the end. You guys, the MVPs, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.